There's two types of drivers of the golf ball. There's the good kind that looks something like this, and then there's the bad kind that looks something like that. We don't want to see that one, JT.
Don't want to see that
Mr.
one.
JT Thomas, I think one of the best coaches in the world, one of the best coaches with the driver in his hands for sure. JT, when we're looking at improving the driver, right, we want to hit our driver better. There's a really key movement pattern that we see with all the best drivers of the ball that we just showed there.
Yeah.
But to clarify that for people, what do we want to do in the downswing to hit our driver well with regards to the body motions?
Yeah, for sure. So again, kind of in the demonstration that we started with, what we see with the worst golfers is we see their hips backwards or behind and their head forward. Okay. And what we see with the best drivers is their hips forward and their head behind.
Yeah.
So those are the two biggest things, very easy to differentiate. When you see those golfers that pull it, hit low shots or high right, we always see the hips back, the head more forward.
That's it. And so we're going to show some drivers of the golf ball on the screen here, like a Rory McIlroy, great driver of the ball, maybe a Tiger Woods, some other tour players. And if we drew a line up from the golf ball, one of the key indicators, like JT mentioned, the hips would be forward of the chest. If we drew that line up from the golf ball, you're going to see JT and all of the best drivers of the ball have their head behind that line, really at all points in the swing. But certainly if we were to freeze frame it at impact. JT, take a setup for me if you would. So if I put this here at the setup position, and we can look at JT or maybe another tour pro alongside of him, his head is going to be behind the ball at setup, right? So his hips are slightly ahead of his chest right away. During the backswing, go ahead and go up to the top. The head's also going to still be behind the ball. The chest is also still going to be behind the hips. And then when we come down to impact, guess what? You guessed it. Head still back of the ball line, right hips ahead of the chest. Now the whole point of that, JT, is with the driver, the ball's teed up. To hit it the best, we want to hit like level to the ball, a little up.
Be level, a little up for sure.
So we're just positioning our body in a way to do that. If you show us the bad version with the hips back, chest forward, like what's that club going to do into the ball?
So you guys can see that from the down the line view here, how high the club's coming into the ball, how far down I'm hitting, and essentially we're spinning the ball, you know, as much as we would spin a 7-iron. So the ball's going to go about the distance of a 7-iron rather than a driver.
So if you're watching, you're like, gosh, I don't hit my driver as far as like I think I can or I know I can. You probably have something along these lines, head too far forward, hit too far down. You'll probably also see what, JT? Low pulls, low pull fades, if you have the error.
If you have the error, for sure. You'll see just really low launches. And if you do happen to launch it high, it's just going to go way too far to the right. So
no good. And we certainly wouldn't see that with any of the best ball strikers. All right, guys, quick break from today's video. Look, if you want to make massive improvements with your game and actually get way better in 2025, you got to do something different than you've done before. And one of those things that I highly recommend is checking out these 2-day schools that my friends at Performance Golf are hosting. These are with the best coaches in the world, people you see me in videos with all the time, like Martin Chuck, Andrew Rice, Erika Larkin, many more of the top coaches at awesome, awesome places all around the United States. We're seeing great results with these schools because what we're able to do when we see you in person is really find and fix the main root issue. Most all of us have like 4 or 5 things wrong with our swing. You can't do them all at one time, but you can find and fix the main one thing, which we can do in person like that. We're able to make massive improvements. I'm talking like maybe 2 years of improvements in only 2 days. So if you're looking for something to really fast track your improvement, this could be the thing that could take you to the next level. We'll put a link in the description down below. Check that out, see if there's a spot available in a location that works for you. Now we look at a guy like Rory or players who want to drive the ball, they hit it high, they hit it far, and they hit it pretty darn straight because they have their body in the correct spots here. And it really starts at the setup position, right? So one time we were talking and JT said, you know, a simple way to look at this is that your setup position, that everything on the lead side or left side is higher than everything on the right side. And I thought, JT, that's just a nice little thing there, right? That's very simple.
For sure.
If we look at JT here, we see his left shoulder's higher than his right, his left ear's higher than his right, arms, hips, knees, right, all the way down the chain. So we're just pre-setting ourselves in a position for success. JT, would you agree that most golfers who struggle with their driver, let me say it different, almost no one who hits their driver poorly sets up well.
Yeah, absolutely. They almost all set up in some way where something is too far ahead of the ball. The hips especially get too far back.
Yeah, you
the
got it.
trail side is higher than the lead side oftentimes. Yeah.
So while we're like, hey, focus on this movement during the downswing, which is key, the hips ahead of the chest, it like really important to get that right early on and then even maintain that up to the top. If you go to the top of your backswing, JT, what would you say is like a stock swing we're looking for? Like shirt buttons slightly behind the belt buckle?
Yes, exactly. So we just see, especially with driver, the shirt button's going to be a little bit to the trail side of the belt buckle.
Yeah.
Again, that already presets, right? Hips would be more forward than the upper body at the top, and then we're trying to obviously keep that on the way down.
And show us the bad version, if you would, where like the hips get behind the chest or too much sway in the backswing.
Exactly. So what we see oftentimes would be this,
Yeah,
not as much turn. Head is almost ahead of the ball already.
Yeah. And that's going to be hit down. Maybe you might be someone who takes a divot with the driver. The ball doesn't go very far. So like, it's really important to get the setup in the backswing part right in order to do the downswing. Let's assume that whoever's watching, you're watching this video and you do that well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, I'm in a pretty good spot at the top. What do I need to feel to start my downswing? I always tell golfers, right, JT, when people come in, I say, hey, I draw, like I just did, a line up from the golf ball, really important to keep your head behind. But as a matter of fact, you said, well, there's something else that really controls that.
Yes, and I would say people always ask that too. It's like, how do I keep my head behind but shift my weight, right? That's what we hear all the time. How can I keep my head behind but shift my weight? And so the key really is actually shifting your weight helps you, or shifting laterally helps you keep your head behind.
Yeah, it's almost like the reverse of what I would normally say it. And if you kind of hold that club up by your ear to demonstrate that, if you could, how that works, where the hips go forward.
Yeah, and this would be a great drill for you to just feel this, right? It would just be, you can take the club, put it right up against the lead side of your head, and then what you're going to try to do is just make a backswing. If anything, you'll get a little bit away from it, but it's not a big deal as much on the backswing. On the downswing, what we're going to try to feel is the more that I push my hips laterally, you notice my head starts to get farther away from this line. So what helps us keep our head behind the ball, but also shift our weight, is moving our hips laterally towards the target. So the more we can go up and feel our hips laterally, our left knee move outside our left ankle, you know, our knees kind of surfed towards the target, that's going to help us keep our head behind the ball.
Yeah, that like tilt of the upper body you see, like if we bring a Rory up and such, his hips are moving quite a bit forward towards the target. Now, of course, as they're moving forward or laterally, they're rotating.
Yeah.
Right, there's obviously rotation going.
Yeah.
So that goes without saying, but we're saying it anyway. There's rotation there. But we need the forward motion of the hips. JT, why don't we hit one out here? We'll kind of go out towards that green flag over there.
Perfect.
And if JT just makes his normal driver swing, we'll see this, and we'll see this with the pros. His hips are ahead of the chest at the start, same on the way back, same on the way down. And so as he hits that, I mean, that's about as good as you could possibly hit a driver. That's maybe 2 yards left of the center of the fairway, 310 right down the middle. Thank you very much,
Torch.
Pretty good. Now, he does that naturally, right? That's in his swing there now, but if it's not in yours, we have to be able to feel that. Let's tee another one up there, JT. So as you're feeling the hips getting ahead of the chest during the downswing, we'll make sure we're set up correct, all the lead sides higher. We can imagine that there's like that wall up from the golf ball. I love that myself. And I feel like my left ear or head even kind of maybe moves an inch or so away from that, if anything, right during the backswing. And then I stay behind that. And so JT, as we're feeling the weight shifting forward, you said kind of pressure into the lead foot, maybe the knees floating a little bit on the way down and through for someone to be able to feel that.
Yeah, for sure.
And in with that, if I were to kind of look at the upper body feels, right, as we're doing that, if anything, the two big upper body cues you'd use here was a little bit of right side bend and a little bit of extension.
Exactly.
So if you can put that club in the center of your chest like one of these bad boys, when we go up into the follow through, if we extend correctly, that club's going to point more up towards the sky. Right, there's the extension part. So as the hips and weight are forward, like JT said from the shift, the chest is going to be up towards the sky. Show me a bad one, chest down towards the ground.
And you see my head goes more forward exactly when we do that. Head's more back when we raise up.
Head's more back when we raise up. And say, well, how do we raise up and not like stand up out of the ball? That's where the right side bend piece comes in. So you could just think about that as shoulder down, chest up. Hips forward, shoulder down, chest up. JT, you hit one more out.
That's great,
See if you can repeat that 310 right down the middle like that last one. But when you watch JT, when you watch the pros, he sets up well, left side higher, backswing, chest behind the hips, and then more of that coming down. And that ball just sounds so good off the face. I mean, those are just absolutely crushed. Maybe my audio's so good because I'm standing right next to you. I don't know if that's gonna be on the video, but that sounds so darn good off of there. So you wanna find pieces like this that are important, that you have to put in your swing no matter where you're coming from. If you're a beginner, you're an advanced player, you're somewhere in between, it doesn't matter where you're at. You wanna put these pieces in. All of the best drivers do that, hips in front of the chest. If you wanna work with guys like JT, wouldn't you love that for a couple days to hit your driver farther, right? Driver better. Check out our Performance Golf School. The link will be in the description down below. Any questions for us, leave a comment. We'd love to help you. Thanks for watching.